or deleting the entity type, adding a new entity set or deleting entity set, or changing the name of the entity type or name of the entity set. So in all these situations, you need to regenerate runtime artifacts. When you regenerate, what happens is the latest metadata will be updated. Whenever you make any change inside data model at given point of time in the future, say suppose if you're trying to make any change inside data model, adding a field, removing a field, or changing the field, adding entity type, removing entity type, or deleting the entity type, or adding entity set, deleting the entity set, or changing the structure. So in all these situations, whatever happens in data model, so immediately you need to regenerate runtime artifacts. When we develop a project, we keep on making changes. So when we keep on making changes inside data model, immediately you need to regenerate runtime artifacts. Otherwise, there will be inconsistency in metadata. Okay, let me just, okay, you can see all the classes are generated here. So let me go to runtime artifacts here. Now this class are generated. You can see that. MPC extension, DPC extension, MDL, and SRV. So in runtime artifacts folder, by default, it is empty. After generating, you'll get this list of classes. Very simple. Now the next point is very important. Say suppose if you make any change here, if you make any changes inside data model section, adding a new field, changing the data type of existing field, or changing the length, or removing the field, or adding a new entity type, new entity set, for all these type of things, whatever happens newly in data model, according to that, you need to generate metadata. That means you need to regenerate runtime artifacts. Only metadata, the latest metadata gets updated in those classes. Okay, first let me write it here. So whenever we add, remove, or change anything inside data model, you need to regenerate. By selecting same red color icon, you need to regenerate. Regenerate runtime artifacts by selecting circle icon, that's red color icon. So what's the impact? Impact of regenerating runtime artifacts. So the latest metadata will be updated inside model provider class. That means in MPC class as per data model. Impact of generating runtime artifacts is very simple. The latest metadata will be updated inside MPC class. If you add a new field in data model, that new field will be reflected in MPC class. If you delete a field from data model, then that field will be deleted from MPC class. So technically, the latest metadata will be updated inside model provider class as per latest data model. If the latest metadata is not updated, what happens? When you execute a service, there will be inconsistency between data model and MPC class, then you'll get errors. You'll get inconsistent and you'll get some errors while executing the service because metadata is not consistent across data model and MPC class. You can execute a service without regenerating. But without regenerating, if you execute a service, there is an inconsistency in metadata, so you'll get errors at runtime. Okay, just remember that's the reason why you have to regenerate runtime artifacts whenever you add, remove, or change anything inside data model. It can be adding, removing, changing a field, or adding, removing, or changing entity type, or add, remove, or change entity set. Whatever it may be, anything happens in data model, then you have to regenerate runtime artifacts. The impact is latest metadata will be updated. So that is one thing that you need to remember here. Okay, you can see. Now let us understand MPC class in detail. Importance of MPC class. So this model provider class basically contains metadata. Contains metadata of ODATA service. Just remember this. What do you mean by metadata? Metadata means, you'll understand that now. So let me open MPC class here, just to understand the basics. So let me open MPC class. Let us understand what are the options that are auto-generated. Okay, let me write it meanwhile. So metadata means, technically, it's like name of the entity type that comes under metadata. Name of the entity type that comes under metadata. Name of the entity sets is also part of metadata. And name of each and every field that comes under metadata. Not only that, data type of each field, data type of each and every field. So that comes under metadata. Length of each field, that's also part of metadata. Then database table. For importing the fields, we have used a database table. So that also comes under metadata here. Database table name, which is used for importing the fields, that also comes under metadata. Then structure. If you use a structure, then that structure name comes under metadata. For importing the fields, so that comes under metadata category. And not only that, which field is a key field, that's also mentioned as part of metadata. Field is key field or not. Some fields may be key fields, some fields are non-key fields. So that also comes under metadata. Field is a key field or not, that's a metadata. And not only that, you will get a table structure. Table structure that is generated for entity type, that comes under metadata. Table structure TS, that is generated for entity type, that comes under metadata. And then there will be a table type, that is TT. So this comes under metadata. So all these things are registered inside MPC class automatically according to data model. All these things will be registered inside MPC class automatically inside data model, and all these things comes under metadata category here. This metadata is utilized by ODATA service framework while executing the service. So you can see here, let me open MPC class. In MPC class, here you can see define EMP, define flight. EMP is our entity type, flight is entity type, but it is generating as some methods like define EMP, define flight. For example, define EMP, let me double click this. So define EMP is entity type and it contains collection of fields. So that is available here. So entity type name is registered as EMP. One of the field is user ID with that type idiom string, and it's a key field. The length is 5. Then the second field, first name, idiom string, length is 12. Last name, idiom string, that's a data type with length 12. Email ID, idiom string, length 40. Similarly, country, salary is idiom int 32. So all the fields with data type and length is registered here inside MPC class. Entity type name is also registered here. This is automatically registered. And not only that, what is the structure used for importing the fields? ZEMP DB table. That is also registered here. What is the entity set created according to data model? EMP set is entity set, that's registered here. So all these things together, we call it as metadata. Let me just add it here. So if you open MPC class, just to make you understand these basics, here you can see the field name with the data type and length is available. And what is the structure used for importing the fields? And what's the entity set that is created? So all these things are registered inside MPC class, and these things we call it as metadata. So MPC class with metadata. Let me make it like screenshot 2. And if you scroll up, you'll get other fields and the name of the entity type also. So the same MPC class contains entity type name EMP here and other fields like user ID, it's a key field, and data type is idiom string. Length 5, something like this. And other fields also will be available. So this all comes under metadata. Right, not only that, if you go back, this is just for knowledge purpose. So let me go back and let us understand what is part of define flight. Flight is another entity type. So it has its own metadata. So let me open that. You can see define flight. If you double click this. So entity type flight. So that is registered here. Airline ID is one of the field. It's a key field. Entity type, flight. One of the field is airline ID and it's a key field. Data type medium string, length is 3. Second field, airline, connect ID, flight date, airport from, city from, airport to, city to. You can see all these things. Departure time, arrival date, price, currency, and etc. So not only that, what is the structure used for importing the fields? In this case, it is BAPI SFL DAT. So that structure used for importing fields is also registered here. That is BAPI SFL DAT. And what's the entity set that's registered here? So all these things are automatically registered for each and every entity type. Every entity type contains the metadata and that will be registered in MPC class. So that means name of the entity type, name of the entity set, name of each and every field, data type and length of each field, length of the each field, database table used for importing fields, the structure used for importing the fields, field is key field or not. So all these things are registered here in MPC class as part of metadata. Now, what about table structure for entity type, table type for entity type? Let me give some basic idea here. This also comes under metadata. So here you can see there is type section. If you go to MPC class type section, in type section, you can see table structure EMP, table type EMP, table structure flight, table type flight. So that's also registered here in type section. So for each entity type, two options are enabled, table structure and table type. For flight, there's table structure and table type. So this also comes under metadata. MPC class, inside MPC class, if you go to type section contains this one. Table structure for EMP, table type for EMP. Table structure for flight, table type for flight. So this also comes under metadata technically. For every entity type, there are two options that are generated here. Okay, let me just write it here. That is table structure ES for entity type EMP. Then there is a table type that is TT for entity type EMP. And here is a table structure ES, that is for entity type flight. Then there is a table type ET, that is for entity type flight. For every entity type, two options are generated automatically. This also comes under metadata. So when to use, how to use this table structure, table type. So table structure, we can use it for declaring work area in our further coding. When we write our code, in the coming days, we are going to do it. So when we write the code, we can use these table structures, table types. Table structure, you can use it for declaring. You can use this to declare work area, to hold single record at runtime. And table type, you can use it to declare internal table, to hold collection of records at runtime. Okay, so let us make it one record, n number of records, something like this. So here, This also, you can use table structure, that is to declare work area, to hold single record at runtime. And you can use table type to declare internal table. That is to hold collection of records at runtime. So when we write our database functionalities, we can use these things whenever required. Okay, so let me just make it like this. Simple and important. So metadata, MPC class metadata, like screenshot 3. So that means the table structure for each entity type, table type for entity type. So that is also part of metadata. Everything is generated inside MPC class. This is just for knowledge purpose. As a developer, we don't make changes in MPC class. Whatever changes you want to do, you do it in data model and regenerate. Very simple. If you want to make any changes, don't make changes in MPC class. Instead, you can make changes in data model and you can regenerate runtime artifacts. Then latest metadata is reflected automatically in MPC class. So the point here is, okay, so here you can see when you go to methods, if you go to EMP, so SAP recommends you not to modify this class. If you want to make any changes, you change it in data model, or you can make it in extension subclass. Never modify this class. In case if you want to change the model, do that in model provider subclass. That means MPC extension class you have to make changes. Because this MPC class is a super class. In super class, we never make changes. We have to make changes either in extension class, that means a subclass, or you can make changes in data model directly and regenerate. Okay, let me take the screenshot. Model provider class. So MPC class is utilized by ODATA framework at runtime execute ODATA service functionalities. It is utilized by the framework at runtime. You need not write any code here. In case if you want to change anything, make changes in data model and regenerate. Then the metadata, latest metadata will be reflected here. Okay, so now not only that, here you can see so let us understand the importance of, I think it will take a lot of time. So I'll stop here. We'll continue that discussion in the next session. This DPC class, DPC extension class, we have to go in detail. So we'll discuss in the coming days. That means next session tomorrow. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
Unmuted.
Yeah, I have one doubt.
What is the doubt?
Yeah, actually, while in installing that Bash tool, in after creating sub account, I tried to add subscription. I went to instant and subscription create. In that create option, also Bash tool option is not there.
I'm not sure what exactly you're talking, but here, did you provide a different mobile number while creating that account and username, email ID?
Yeah, I tried with two email ID, but same problem I am facing.
So that means you can go to directly instances. In instances, I think it will be available. I think this is
Yeah,
out.
I directly go to instances and then try to create for subscription for business application studio, but business application studio option is not there.
It will be available. Why it will not be available?
Hi sir, actually I'm also facing the same issue, but I have added in entitlement. Go to entitlement and configure
Okay.
entitlement. We have to add it in entitlements.
Okay. Let me go
Then
back
I
to this.
can find it.
Yeah. Let me check where is that entitlement. It's not relevant to this class. Other students, you need not worry. We are going to discuss Bash tool for new students later. So here you can see, if I go to trial account, here you can see there is entitlements. I think so. SAP will keep on changing the options here. So there are service assignments and you can see something like entity assignments here. I think you can search it here maybe.
Configure entitlements. There is a button.
There is that button here.
No, it was there. Top of that table.
No, sir. First, we have to search for it. Search with the application studio.
In entitlements, where is that configure option?
Go to
No,
our
sir.
entity assign. It's not there.
Where is configure option? So basically, when you go to this trial account only, you should get it. When you go to trial account, so here itself in account explorer, when you double click sub account, then it will open all these options here. Service marketplace and instances, because service marketplace should have all the services. Instances should have all the instances, whichever you have subscribed. Basically, here it should be available. What you do is select all services and search for that. Select all services and select all status. Then I think it will be visible somewhere here. Okay, what you do is what is happening when you select service marketplace? What is shown when you select instances? Send those two screenshots. So I'll try to replicate those things. Then we'll try to move forward for that.
Okay. Actually, sir, when you are clicking on service marketplace, in your case, there is almost 54 or 63 applications are coming. But if in my case only 15 are coming and business application studio is not coming. So I'll share the screenshot.
Okay, send that screenshot. Then I'll be able to understand what is the problem in that screen. Okay.
Okay.
But here basically you'll get this. In general, this account is created long back. I'm not sure whether new accounts are enabled or not, but the account which is created earlier, so it contains a business application studio. There is no problem. So I have also created on 9th March 2023. So almost 1 week back itself, I've created it. It's also a new account. So basically it should be visible. Maybe SAP keep on making changes in these screens. So try to cross-check once again. Yeah, next down.
Hi, Vijay, this is Sushma.
Yeah, Shushma, what's it down?
Yeah, so this is my first demo class. I have gone through the two videos which you have shared. So I have some doubt regarding the SAP Fiori UI. So what we are trying to like replicate using Fiori, the existing SAP ABAP UI, those things, or we can create our custom UI also in Fiori.
I think in demo class itself, I've clarified, right? So we can